One of the greatest global dissonances that exist is the dissonance between how the world perceives Israel and what Israel is inside. It's just a phenomenal incongruity. There's this sense there's these videos, Israel's imminent demise, Israel is falling apart from within, Israel's society is being destroyed, and Israel's violent, and Israel's poor, and Israel's a million things. And the great incongruity is that Israel's flourishing inside. Israel's flourishing in every level. There's a spiritual awakening. There's a high birth rate. There's a sense of joy. There's a sense of justice. There's a sense of organicness, wholeness, being in the right place. And there's also a sense that economically, Israel's got it going on. There's just this energy, this life energy, these ideas, water, desalination, farming, defense, medicine. There's all these things that Israel's just accelerating inside in. And it doesn't look like it from the outside, right? From the outside, you think Israel's gonna fall apart. There's all these videos of these pro-Palestine folks, anti-Israel folks, Qataris, and they're all talking in the language of Israel's doom. Israel's completely, Zionism is falling apart. Tucker had a guy on who's saying that Zionism is certainly heading towards demise. And it's so funny because Zionism is only gearing up. There's this awesome feeling here. Jerusalem is being built. There's 7 million Jews. The economy is strong. The global world is rejecting the Jews and Israel is welcoming them in. This is called the ingathering of the exiles. And there's many problems. All states have problems. All states make mistakes. I'm not here to say that everything is roses, but just because everything is not roses doesn't mean that everything is garbage. That's also a big mistake. You got these people who are look at this problem, look at this problem. Israel's certainly falling apart. And it's just a ridiculous exaggeration, but the exaggeration to the point that you're totally missing what's actually happening here. And that's that great incongruity. And that incongruity is going to explode in people's faces, especially in the haters, because all the haters, that are in Egypt or in Syria or in Jordan or in Iraq and, wherever they are, in Yemen and in Iran, and they're in all those places, there are plenty of pro-Israel folks. But all those folks that wish to see Israel, and they have this self-fulfilling, this prophecy, they're you see Israel's falling apart. The irony is, and this is yet another dichotomy in irony, is that those societies are the ones that are so troubled. Those societies are the ones that don't have good economics. Look at the Arab world. Look at any place that hates Israel. It always falls down. It always falls apart. Because it's wrong, because it's unjust, because it's ungodly, because it's anti-Semitism is an internal, emotional, sociological scourge, always has been, because you reject blessing instead of blessing the blessing and receiving the blessing. And so for all these reasons, the greatest dichotomy today is between what is perceived in the outside, what you see on Twitter and Facebook and certainly TikTok, and they're broadcasting. Now, I'm not saying that those broadcasts don't hurt Israel. They do. And Israel's image should not be toxic. It should be what it is, beautiful and life affirming and life giving and a spiritual hub, a technological hub, financial hub, military hub for the world. It's a good. Israel's a good, but it's funny. And this is something that my mom reminded me is something very characteristic of the Jewish people. We kind of see the humor in things. And when Jewish people leave societies, a lot of times those societies lose their sense of humor. And when you lose your sense of humor, you also lose kind of your sense of liveliness, vivaciousness. And that's what Israel is. It's got that in spades. It is vivacious. So you can be a promulgator of the hate. You're just going to be very surprised in 10 years where it's how did Israel be so damn beautiful and strong while our we thought we were promised that this Jewish thing is going to be destroyed? But lovers of Israel are going to be happy and grateful, and they're going to see, God's promise coming to fruition, and Jerusalem built, and Haifa built, and Eilat built, and Hebron built here behind me, the tomb of the Patriarchs and Matriarchs. Look at it, all gussied up for Israel Independence Day. And they've been telling you that Israel's going to be destroyed since day one. And here we are, 78 years later, and Israel's thriving economically. And in my older age, I realized today how important economics is. Economically, militarily, quashing the bad guys. And we could be doing more and better. And it's, we didn't finish the job in Gaza, et cetera, et cetera. But this video is not about that. It's not about moaning and complaining about what Israel isn't. It's about the dichotomy of the lies versus the reality. And to me, there's just nothing more beautiful. I just love to see these tractors. I love to see anything that shows the growth of the land of Israel. Not only do I love to see it, I love to smell it, okay? When I see asphalt being laid down, I like to breathe the air because that's the air of redemption. Redemption is not something that happens to us. It's something that we make happen. We are making redemption happen in this time. God has given us the gift. God has given us the strength, but he expects us to act. I don't want to hear people talk about peace now, and I don't want to hear even when people talk about Mashiach now. Because what really we need to be hearing is responsibility now. This is our time to do. God says, I have given you the tools to build up the Jewish state, the land of Israel, so do it. And with that comes another topic, which is, to me, there's only two kinds of people in this world, right? One kind is Israel shrinkers, and the other kind are Israel growers. It's obvious when you have bad guys that hate Israel that they're Israel shrinkers. Like, Joe Biden was an Israel shrinker. His team was Israel shrinkers. Then there's people, let's say like Mamdani or even Tucker Carlson. They're just Israel destroyers. But there's Israel shrinkers. Now, Israel shrinkers could also come in the form of supposedly Zionist, supposedly pro-Israel, pro-nationalist folks who tell you that the biggest problem that we have is with the settler youth and the hilltop youth, and they're making all the problems in the world. That's all bogus. That's all bunk. Yes, there's some troublesome kids. How many? 200? The rest are heroes holding on to the heartland of Israel, to the hilltops, against the jihad and the Palestinian takeover. Yes, they want to have a Palestine take over this land. And when you have pro-Israel people being like, the big problem is the settler youth, well, I think to myself, you're in the camp of the Israel shrinkers. If you come against our youth in a time of war, when these young people are pushing back on Palestinian takeover, land takeover, and say, no, this is our land, and they bring the army and the townships in, and they hold on to the land of Israel, those kids are heroes. Heroes. And the guys who are, and gals that are supposedly pro-Israel, but talk against the Jews of Judea and Samaria, the so-called settlers of the West Bank, well, they are Israel shrinkers. I believe that we have to be Israel growers. I believe Israel has to be bigger, stronger. We got to take over South Lebanon. Make sure that we hold on to that Hermon, the Hermon mountain range. We got to take over Gaza, certainly East Jerusalem, so-called, certainly Judea and Samaria. We have to hold on to these places. And we got to be big, politically, militarily, economically, and spiritually. And not succumb to the lies of the Israel shrinkers. That's what they want to do. They want to shrink Israel, even in the guise of Zionism. They're like, no, these kids, they're the real problem. They're hurting the Zionist enterprise. Anybody who wants to shrink this land and this country is the problem. They are the problem. We are Israel growers. We're Israel builders. And so I'm blessing you to see reality and share reality. If you're like in the bad guy zone, snap out of it, really. It will bring you no blessing. Israel, you will not destroy Israel. It will not fall apart. It's exactly the opposite of all those videos. Israel is going to thrive. And it's gearing up to thrive even more. So, yalla. Get with the program. And that's the program. Israel's going to be alive in the Middle East. More Jews are coming here. More Jews are being born here. More Jews are going to frolic, live, be spiritual, make a blessing of economics for millions of people around the world. And you can plug into that channel, or you can detach yourself and plug yourself into an energy of death, energy that brings you down to premature personal civilization and personal and civilizational demise. It's those people that are calling and predicting for Israel's demise. They are on the road of demise, self-demise, self-destruction. And I urge you to not be plugged into those guys, but rather be plugged into the God team, the winning team, the life-affirming team, and that is the rebirth of the Jewish people in the land of Israel. That is God's will. It's not because I'm not a prophet. It's just obvious. I could just see it from within. Anyway, I want to bless you. And speaking of being plugged into great channels, don't forget to plug into our channel, Yishai Fleischer TV on YouTube and Yishai.tv on the internet. And also to help us build Israel. If you're on the winning team, let's build Israel together. BuildIsrael.com. BuildIsrael.com. It's just that simple. It's just that beautiful. BuildIsrael.com. Let's build it, baby. I can't tell you how much pleasure and life-affirming energy I get from the organic act of building the land of Israel and rebuilding it and being part of it. You could also go to buymeacoffee.com/Yishai. And if you want to help Hebron, hebronfund.org. All right, folks, I'm blessing you from this great grass next to the forefathers and mothers of the Jewish people, being repatriated by the children, being reborn in this land. God bless you wherever you are. I'm sending you blessings from the land of blessings and heart from the heartland of the Holy Land. And shalom.